Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Today, after breakfast, it was decided that we will have some classes along with simply meditating. So quickly I procured texts and printouts. We will have two classes perhaps. One in the morning with me, with lot of words, and one in the evening with Ajayji, with lot of gaps in the words. So, the texts that have been chosen, the one I will be taking is Mandukya Upanishad. The one Ajayji will be taking is Brahma Sutra. Upanishads, we have, like almost everybody have heard the word Upanishads, and which literally means, the literal meaning of Upanishad is to sit with a teacher, sit close. Up means close, nishad means to sit. So sitting close with teacher. And most of the Upanishads are in the form of conversation between a student and the teacher. There are many, out of which the one that we have selected is Mandukya Upanishad. It's the smallest one, with having only 18 mantras in total. And its name is Mandukya, one related with Manduk. And Manduk means frog. So, why it is called Mandukya, that one related with frog? Like people on the path, they have three ways of progressing. One is they progress like ant, walking slowly but consistently, having new insights, new experiences, in little quantity, little measure, but they keep on moving. And there are people like Buddha, or like Patanjali, or like Vedavyasa, who move like an eagle. Like they are at one place and they simply fly. But most of the people like me, I move like frog. Like we make a jump, stay there, take some rest, assimilate the insights, get familiar with the experience, then we make another jump. We have seen the frog, how it moves. It takes a jump, stays there for some time, again it jumps. Stays there for some time, again it jumps. So most of the people, we move like this in the path of meditation or in the path of reality. We move, we gather some insight, we gather some experience, we stay with it, we assimilate it, and again we move. So this Upanishad is called Mandukya Upanishad, the Upanishad of frog. And it has 4 stations. Like frog is jumping, so it jumps to 4 stages. And the first stage is awake, the awake stage, that we experience things. The second state is dream state. The third stage is deep sleep state. And the fourth stage is the state that is in all these 3. The awake stage, the dream stage, the deep sleep stage, and the fourth stage that is in all these 3. Permeated in all these. Yeah. So there is a little deviation from popular belief that the fourth stage has to be something extra experiential, extra delight, with a hollow behind you and tingling sounds and everybody going. So it doesn't, this Mandukya Upanishad, this doesn't subscribes to that view. It encourages you to find something that is very simple, utterly simple, which is in awake, which is in dream, and which is in deep sleep. The very simplicity of our being. And over the Upanishad, there have been many techniques, methods, ways to get to that simplicity. So, because we have 10 days and we will not be covering all of them. All of them are not required also. We will take 1 or 2 of them and will elaborate upon that. The different forms of meditation techniques that are called upayas. One of the upaya that Mandukya Upanishad has suggested is called a Sparsh Yoga. A Sparsh Yoga. Asparsh means touch. Asparsh means untouched. The yoga of untouched. And what is untouched? We have this mind of us with all its thoughts, emotions, its complexities, everything before us. And the thoughts, if they are congruent to what we want them to be, we are happy with them. If they do not go as we want them to be, we are unhappy with it. This is one thing. Similarly, if thoughts are painful, they keep on thinking about things that we do not want to think. We do not agree to it. And somehow we decide to shut it down, to shut the mind itself up. Fair enough. We don't like the things that we don't like. So when he comes to the technique, he says, you and your mind have a gap between it. Have a gap between you and your mind, the activities of the mind. And let activities of the mind go on, do not disturb it. As if water flows beneath the bridge, let the mind and its activities flow. That's the easiest part and the most difficult part. When we allow the mind to flow, at times we come upon the idea, oh, I can let all other thoughts flow, but this very thought is very important. I need to think it out. I need to resolve it. And there we get stuck, as if. So then there is whole system so that you do not get stuck to those thoughts. Because there is nothing really very, very important to think it out. Like we feel that I really need to think this thought out. But if we just let those troubling, disturbing thoughts flow and bear the pain that it causes, bear the emotional effects that it gives, a new window opens where solution comes from somewhere else, and which is more apt, more suitable. But this, because we have been thinking to solve the problems, we cannot kind of just let go of this control of thinking. We feel as if we are obliged to think things out. And this doesn't let our mind rest. We have so much faith in thinking. Like thoughts are not problem. Thoughts are coming, going. But this faith in thinking things out is so much that, and it's associated with so much fear if we are not able to, if we are asked to not to think things out, that we are just not able to let it go. So option is to keep thinking and trying to find a solution which seems to work for some time, but then it doesn't work. Or to bear the pain or bear the fear and let the mind rest. And in a controlled environment like this practice of bearing the fear or bearing the pain of letting mind go or letting mind be, I would rather say letting mind be. You are not pushing away the thoughts. You are not fighting with it. You are not struggling with it. You are just letting it be, allowing it to be. Puts us in deeper rest, deeper calmness, and connects to something. And staying with that connection as much as you can.
I apologize, I didn't hear properly because I was trying to hold back a cough. You said if you let the mind be, then you use the word a solution, not solution.
Like be,
Yeah.
allow it to be, rather
Yeah.
than allowing, rather than saying let go.
Yeah.
I would say let be,
Yeah.
and then it starts to settle down. And this allowing it to be is a work of faith. As we have faith in thinking, we have so much faith in thinking, which has our training brought up. Like I will think myself out of this problem, which is good, which helps, which is quite helpful. Similarly, we have to have some faith, some illogical faith that allowing mind to be and bearing the pain will calm it down. And once you start experiencing it, once, twice, thrice, this faith becomes stronger. And then you are ready to bear more, to let be for longer periods. And then the old habit of thinking out of the solution by thinking will come. Don't fight it. But in a controlled atmosphere like this, we should go and establish ourselves with that other kind of faith where we are allowing the mind to be. Not condemning it, not trying to modify the thoughts, not trying to analyze it, not trying to psychoanalyze it. Not trying to not to do these things. Like if you find yourself psychoanalyzing for some time, okay. If you find yourself condemning yourself, okay, just become aware. And this is a critical thing. And allow the mind to be. Have love for yourself. Have deeper compassion for yourself. And without this compassion, without this acceptance, work becomes difficult. At times one may find oneself not accepting oneself. Accept that also. And slowly as layers break away, things will break. Things will break and one will go penetrating deeper. And deeper calm, deeper silence, deeper calmness, deeper silence will come. Now there are some things, some informations that are conducive to bring you to calmness. There are some information, some knowledge that are not so conducive for bringing calmness. For example, here we have a controlled atmosphere where we do not have to think about food, or we do not have to think about water, or flood, or earthquake. So here we can focus upon accepting the situation. If we get the information that cooks have run away, it's difficult to accept that. The process that mind will start churning, how will I have food? Similarly, there are some informations related with our life which are conducive in bringing mind to a halt, bringing it to calmness. The information may be true or false, or not important at all. That's not the issue. But somehow it brings your mind to that halt, to that calmness. So they are helpful. The information in itself is not important. The information puts your mind into a state which is conducive for becoming calm. That is helpful. One such information is world is illusion.
Oh.
World
Oh.
is illusion.
Is illusion.
Illusion.
The word, like they say, word doesn't exist.
Hmm.
Word is an illusion,
Okay, the world
Yeah,
is illusion.
it's an illusion.
Okay.
So that can
Yeah.
make you calm.
Calmer. Okay.
Calm.
Like cooks have run away, makes our mind agitated. Similarly, the information, the world is illusion. You know?
I know, but I don't know whether it will make me calmer.
Yeah, that is difficult because to listen it, it's a different thing.
Yeah.
But to accept it, it is very different. Because we heard so many times
So many times.
that it doesn't make any effect.
And it doesn't make any effect. Similarly, another information is everything is one. We have come across this information, and why we do not get to it? Because they doesn't seem to work. We think that we will experience these things, then we will believe it. Not working. We have to have a little faith in it, and then we will experience something. Like, if we have little faith, let's try. That world is illusion. And that puts our mind in some stage of calmness, in some rest. And that gives rise to an experience which cannot be described by word, as world is illusion, but that information world is illusion is helpful in getting to that experience. If we go the other way around, it's not helpful. We keep listening, world is illusion, and we try to experience world as illusion. It's not working. Because these are knacks. And knacks are not meant to be experienced.
What's not meant to be? What is that?
Knacks are not meant to be experienced. Knacks. You know, knacks.
Knacks? Like knickknacks?
Like knacks. Like
Like a trick.
tricks.
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 Yeah. Like somebody is sneezing, and in India we say if somebody is sneezing, just make him exclaim about something. So if somebody is sneezing a lot, just look, there is a ghost. And he looks, and somehow the sneezing stops.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a
Like surprising somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this surprising somebody to stop sneezing
It's a knack.
is a knack to stop sneezing. It's a trick.
What is you said, like you may have the information the world is an illusion or all is one. and it leads to, if you can just let those be, then it leads to an experience. What's the experience of calmness? Is that what you were saying? You said then this.
Yeah, the calmness.
Yeah, the
You
calmness.
know, the
Yeah.
calmness will be experienced. If you accidentally.
And these are like, look, there is a ghost.
Yeah.
And so it's like, world is illusion. And you do not look for world is illusion. The aim is to stop you, help you stop sneezing. If you get too serious upon looking at ghost and where it is, you will not find.
And that means trick has not worked.
Trick has not worked. So the approach of Mandukya Upanishad is to help you stop sneezing by telling these two things. In other Upanishads there are other necks. And they always say these are prakriyas. Prakriyas. Like I was very
Processes.
processes. And process is never the end, the product.
Oh.
If you are stuck to process, you will never get to product. And process might have some similarity to the product, but process is never the product. Similarly, whatever you are listening, the world is illusion, or all is one, or you are not the body mind, these are all processes.
But are these informations particular informations, or can it be any information comes from the state of just being with?
Yeah, any information.
So okay, so it doesn't have to be one of those. It could be anything.
It could be any.
Okay.
It could be anything that in this only it says whatever in prakriya, the process is helpful, is good prakriya. You can have your own knacks, but these knacks they have seemed to work a lot with lot of people, with a lot of time, with long time. So these are popular ones.
You don't choose one consciously, it comes by itself.
It could come by yourself.
Or can you choose it consciously as well?
If it is too much discussed upon, see, those knacks, every knack has some shadow of reality. Like every process has some shadow of what the final product would be. It's not completely, completely. So there are some processes which has greater shadow of reality, which is more generalized, which could be more generalized. If a process is coming within you, which has lesser shadow of the reality, it could work with you, it may not work with somebody else. But these knacks, they would work with more percentage of people than the knacks that you discover by yourself. But we can never say they will always work with you. There is no such guarantee. If it doesn't work, forget it. And sometimes some knack may not have worked with you, like somebody is sneezing and somebody will say, hello, look, there is a ghost. It's not going to work. But if somebody says, look, there is ghost, it might work. So it's how the knack is used that also depends upon. So these knacks have been used quite a number of times, and they seem to work. So we will proceed with one of the knack. Sarvam mithya. World is illusion. And we will try and see if it works for some of us. In next coming days. Questions?
But if one has already, let's say, if I have already thought a lot about that before and somehow understand what it means, both true and not true, and sort of, then, but I can still have, my mind can still be ticking away, thinking about something or other, then is it any use to start thinking about something which in a sense one has already thought out or experienced out?
Please repeat the question.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that the word about the world is an illusion. I have sort of thought and meditated and have done a lot of work on that particular formulation. And then would it still, even so, would it still function as a knack form if I already have an understanding of...
So maybe now it's not knack for you anymore.
Yeah.
Because knack is to not mean, just to shake you.
Yeah.
And if it has not shaked, that means as knack it is not working. But because you already thought about it, so means you come to an understanding why are you thinking about it. And knack works, if you don't understand actually. So maybe just to
Aditya, JG, do these knacks only work because they are part of truth, part of the deeper truth of it, if you could say reality, or maybe maybe a light of it?
it could be, but
some
here
because I don't think I don't know. I mean, I've not got much experience,
but like
maybe you can't explain it. Maybe you can't say what it really is. You can't.
yeah, because it's used as knack. So like say, there is a ghost. Like this another thing he was saying.
Yeah, I didn't quite get that. I missed that.
Yeah,
one.
like if you are sneezing and somebody comes and says, there is a ghost.
Or it might stop you.
Yeah, that sneezing might stop.
Yeah.
But the ghost is not true. But it's still
It's
works.
just a trick.
It's a trick. So similarly, maybe the world is Maya or illusion. It's a trick, It's not true, because also in experience, when I pinch you, you say, like, it really pinch you.
Yeah. I don't know whether I've looked at this. Sorry, maybe this is not an open discussion thing. Sorry.
No.
When I've looked at this in the past myself, I've kind of gone, well, the whole lot is a paradox.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So That is true. Totally true. It is an illusion. But when you touch me, then it's not.
One story is there. This man, Shankaracharya, here, he died when he was 32 and completed all his works by 16, so the legend says. So he used to say world is Maya, world is illusion. So what one king did, he ran a mad elephant at him, like wild elephant. Kings used to have elephant. So one of the elephant, not mad but angry elephant, made the elephant angry and made it run towards him. He was going through a market. And he would say world is illusion. But what he did, he had those wooden sandals. Swamis, they wear wooden sandals. So with wooden sandals you cannot run very fast. So he took both his wooden sandal in hand and ran. The king controlled the elephant and got him caught by soldiers. Come Swami, you were saying world is mithya, illusion, and then elephant was running towards you and everybody. Why did you run away? He said, King, my running also is illusion.
So is the illusion then the deeper truth than the touch?
Yeah. So we have to understand what world is and what exactly is meant by illusion. When we say world or the creation, we do not mean what we see outside. The first creation is our own mind. We are in deep sleep, and when we wake up, the first thing that stands before us is our mind. You see, we are sleeping, and when you wake up, the first thing that comes to us is mind. We remember where we are. Before that, we have a sense of ourselves. And the creation has started. And then the thoughts comes, then some worry comes, worry like I need to drink water, or I need to pee, or I need to go to toilet, something like that. Or maybe it's tea time. And see how creation has started within us. And the focus here is mind and everything experienced by mind. Thoughts, tactile senses, visions, inner or outer, sounds, inner or outer, a smell, taste, and your identity is illusion. Remember, this is neck. When I say these are illusion, don't try to experience them as illusion. See where it puts your mind into, where these informations are throwing your mind into. If it is making you calmer, or if it is making you agitated.
Sometimes agitated for a good reason, because otherwise the elephant
Yeah, kind of. And then you label that agitation as illusion. But these are practices
Okay.
in the controlled environment.
Okay.
You do not go doing the thing on the street and get yourself
I'm so glad to
banged
see.
by elephant. So it gives rise to an experience. It will start giving rise to some experiences. Those experiences are valuable, not the words. And slowly we will discover what is meant, because those old people, they were quite, because they have no other thing than to just do this, just beg twice in a day and spend all their life and intellect upon this. So usually we tend to think, I used to think that I am more intelligent than those people because I can understand the deeper psyche of my mind, and these people, they do not. But when I got through this, they were quite intelligent, more than me at least, and they have worked a lot, and they know how to. I got this trust, and that trust is sometimes very useful. That somehow that will lead me to the deepest calmness. So they have very, very simple as well as very complex and logical ways to convince you. Slowly we will go through them, and what is important is not to take them seriously, too seriously. What is important is while listening or while remembering afterwards, they will put your mind in some altered state, a deeper state of calmness, a deeper state of agitation. And staying with it and becoming familiar to it. Yes.
You're talking about now about these tricks or these knacks, or is that what you're talking about just now?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only knack we will
Okay.
deal with, or two or three,
Right.
is the world is illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Defining, understanding what world is,
Mm-hmm.
what exactly is meant by illusion.
Mm-hmm.
And if it works,
Yeah.
I hope it will work. We will go through it. Anything else?
Mm. I like what you said. It was very clear. You know, and you said, well, you know, just to watch the mental process, just like from a bridge, as if water were passing underneath it. I heard you say, and that is very much what I do in silent meditation, in sitting. That's not what I try to do. Try to again and again let go, and I think that's everybody's involved in
But what
in
we do,
practicing that.
but what we do, that sometimes we jump from the bridge and start taking bath.
Of
in
course, of course, of course. You know, and there is sometimes the charge is the emotional charge can be so strong that just remaining on the bridge seems quite difficult. So at times, what I found is that for some period of time, I will very directly engage with a thought, knowing that I'm doing that
Yeah.
in a very direct way, in a loving way, and just to say, oh, look, this is really difficult now. For instance, an upset or a particular memory.
A strong emotions.
Yes, strong emotions. So, because if I were to remain on the bridge, all I would have to do is, holding onto the railings, not to get sucked into the strudel of the turmoil of the water. So, and in those moments, I get off the bridge altogether to have a look, to engage. This doesn't mean I give it credence, I give it a lot of belief, but it means that out of compassion for myself.
Exactly. It's not a crime. To get off the bridge sometimes is not crime. It's not illegal, at least in India. So sometimes we can get off.
Right.
And have that compassionate, because we all do, and have the compassionate. And when you feel like it's winter season, so if you feel like cold, really cold in the water, then just get up and start looking.
Exactly, but I'm talking about quite an active involvement and a sane use of my mental capacities and my emotions.
But what this information, if somehow we are convinced that there is no water, somehow there is, like you are looking at the breeze and you look at the water flowing, and if you know there is world full, you will not jump, but you see flowers are floating and beautiful things are floating and you want to grab it, or you see a crocodile floating and you feel it will come up and catch you. But somehow, if you are convinced that there is no water, there is no crocodile, and there is no flowers, then it will become much easier to help you not to get involved.
That's true.
The people who do practice observing the thoughts, they get, like, nobody is here, but I have seen many people, they get involved in the process, and sometimes they get too far.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I agree.
Sometimes they get too far, and
I agree.
it's difficult to bring them back.
Yeah. Totally.
So these knacks, they are kind of insurance. Like, they keep you insulations, they keep you protected from, help you not to get too far. So slowly we will discover get deeper into. World means mind also, just remember. World is not what we experience from mind. By world, I mean everything that is created, including your mind.
Okay.
The first encounter of us with world is our mind, the mind itself.
But you gave the example of when you wake up. For me, very often, and I've also, of course, read this in the books, but it happens that the first thing is there's just an awareness.
Awareness, Mahat. It
With
is called Mahat.
and then you're something, where am I? And you don't know where you are.
Before that.
Especially if you're travelling sometimes, am I in India? Am I on holiday? It's just, but the very first thing is you just wake up.
Yeah. A sense of being.
Yeah.
That is the first thing.
Yeah.
And from it, that is called Mahat.
Called?
That is called Mahat
Mahat, yeah.
in Sanskrit.
You don't know anything at all.
You don't know, it's not in the words, it's not in the memory. just a sense of presence.
Yeah.
You don't know where, you have no thoughts, nothing.
No.
A sense of presence. Even it's not a sense of my being, it's just being.
Mm.
It's, you are not I am, nothing of the sort, just am.
Mm.
That sense of being, not I being, just being. And then it comes I being, like I am. First it is just am, then I am, and then you just get orientation and become aware where you are, or whatever might come.
So the very, very, very first one is actually like a non-dual experience.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Probably even not experience, you know.
Well, not experience, no.
Yeah,
It's a
because,
non-duality.
you know, as soon as you connect to yourself, like
Yeah.
there is no connection to yourself,
No.
and that awakeness,
Mm.
and then you connect to yourself,
Yeah.
then it's like the, you can call it non-dual, you know, because it's an experience, you know. You are experiencing almost without you.
Okay.
Yeah.
But before that, you can't even say non-dual.
You know, because it's
Not
nothing, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not you are there, it's just a presence is there, which you cannot claim to be you.
So, it's lunchtime, so please wake up.
Don't go eat your illusory lunch.
What was that illusory, John? Sorry.
Because I've got an illusory hunger right now. Yeah.